Again? We are going through this with Angel Reese? Again? The unidentified victim was introduced to the palm of Angel Reese's hand. Over the past couple of years, Angel Reese has allowed the disease of jealousy to destroy her career.
Angel Reese has been hit with a suspension after striking an opponent in the face, and the WNBA is taking a firm stance this time. Rather than just a standard ruling, the league's message is clear: we've had enough.
This has got to be a goddamn joke. This has got to be a joke.
This goes beyond just a suspension. It marks a pivotal moment for a player who's been pushing the league's boundaries all season long.
Another instance where Angel Reese shows a complete lack of self-control.
Angel Reese is back in the spotlight, but not in a way the WNBA or her supporters had hoped. The Chicago Sky forward has been handed an indefinite suspension following another startling on-court incident.
Angel Reese was visibly frustrated after missing another layup. As she was preparing to jog very slowly down the court in transition, she decided to take out her frustration on the face of one of the players for the Washington Mythical.
This incident unfolded during the June 17, 2025 matchup against the Washington Mystics, a night remembered not for Reese's performance on the court, but for a slap that reverberated throughout the league.
At one point during the game, Angel Reese was doing what she does best, missing layups.
The clash erupted in a tense moment of the game. After missing a layup and showing clear frustration, Reese lashed out, striking Mystics player Kiki Irie across the face.
What happened last night? That was inexcusable. Angel Reese was visibly frustrated, which is kind of strange.
The slap was anything but subtle. It was intentional, needless, and downright unacceptable. Fans inside the arena and viewers online were left shocked, while social media exploded with outrage, labeling it a cheap shot and demanding strict punishment.
And you're drawing attention to yourself because of that. That can be problematic for you, especially when the comparison is going to be drawn to Caitlin Clark, who isn't doing such things. That might not be fair. I'm not saying it is.
What makes the situation even worse is that this wasn't just a one-off moment of frustration. Despite once holding a double-digit lead, the Chicago Sky crumbled and suffered an embarrassing collapse. Reese's stat line, 17 points and 10 rebounds, looked solid, but it was completely overshadowed by her poor decision-making and failure to step up as a leader when it counted most.
Last night, Angel Reese, big star. She played in an arena that was filled to less than 75% capacity. The announced attendance was around 7,500.
To make matters worse, the game only pulled in a modest crowd of around 7,500 fans, a figure that, if anything, seemed overstated.
So I think it's time to finally, end the argument. End the argument that there is any sort of other needle mover.
The rows of empty seats told their own story. For a player promoted as one of the WNBA's rising stars, Reese's inability to draw big crowds is glaring. ESPN recently released numbers from the Indiana Fever's exhibition against Brazil, where Caitlin Clark's presence once again packed arenas. Reese, despite the league's constant promotional push, continues to struggle with fan turnout. This latest incident has raised larger questions about her place in the WNBA. For years, the league has showcased her as a marquee name, but behavior like this makes that status harder to defend. Many fans are now openly questioning whether she deserves the spotlight, especially when her actions keep eclipsing her talent. Shortly after the game, the Chicago Sky announced Reese's indefinite suspension, with head coach Tyler Marsh citing not only her on-court conduct but also her refusal to take accountability afterward. The WNBA has also opened its own investigation, adding even more scrutiny to her already controversial career. By now, missed layups shouldn't rattle a player of Reese's caliber, yet her emotional outbursts suggest otherwise. Her pattern of behavior has become impossible to ignore. While her numbers remain respectable, her lack of composure and disruptive antics overshadow what she brings on the court. It's a troubling trend that casts doubt on whether she can truly be the leader and role model the WNBA has been pushing her to become.
WNBA women's basketball star Angel Reese says we should get paid like NBA players, okay? That's going out everywhere.
The empty seats told their own story. For someone the league has pushed as a rising star, Reese's struggle to draw crowds is glaring. ESPN's latest numbers from Indiana Fever's game against Brazil highlighted the contrast. When Caitlin Clark plays, arenas sell out. Despite heavy promotion, Reese can't generate the same buzz. That disconnect has sparked a larger conversation about her role in the WNBA. Marketed as a marquee player, her repeated controversies make it harder to justify her star status. Fans are beginning to question whether she deserves the spotlight at all, especially as her behavior continues to overshadow her talent. Chicago Sky coach Tyler Marsh announced Reese's indefinite suspension, citing not only her on-court actions but her refusal to take accountability afterward. The WNBA has launched its own investigation, intensifying the scrutiny around her. The league's patience appears to be wearing thin. The truth is, this isn't an isolated issue. Reese has built a pattern of losing her composure. Just in May, she clashed with Caitlin Clark during a Fever game that nearly escalated into a brawl. Days later, she tangled with Connecticut Sun forward Olivia Nelson-Ododa in a scuffle that included hair-pulling and a shove. Every player has emotional moments, but Reese's seem to consistently boil over into headline-making altercations. Her temper raises tough questions about her leadership. Can someone who brands herself as the face of the WNBA continue to act this way? Leaders are supposed to inspire, not drag their teams into chaos. On paper, Reese's stats often look solid: double-doubles, strong rebounding numbers. Against the Mystics, she posted 17 points and 10 rebounds. But those numbers lose their shine when paired with missed layups, costly turnovers, and her disappearing act in clutch moments. Time and again, she struggles when the pressure is highest. Then there's the branding. Reese recently filed trademarks for phrases like "mi bounds" to capitalize on her rebounding ability. While clever, it adds to the perception that she's more focused on building a personal brand than leading her team to wins. In the end, Reese's slap wasn't just a moment of poor judgment. It was the culmination of issues that have followed her all season. A lack of composure, questionable leadership, and a widening gap between the star the league wants her to be and the player she's actually become.
It'll say Angel Reese part 36. And it goes, Angel Reese going up for another layup. She misses. Bang! And I mean, dude, it's the funniest shit. And my whole thing is this, dude.
Angel Reese's suspension isn't just about one slap or a few bad games. It represents a much larger problem that could jeopardize her career and stain the WNBA's reputation. The league now faces a difficult choice. Will they keep protecting a player who has become a liability, or finally hold her accountable? Reese may believe she's untouchable, but even stars burn out if they keep making the same mistakes. Time is ticking, and she alone must decide what kind of legacy she wants to leave. The WNBA has gone all in on marketing Reese as its next big star, pushing her as the face of the league. But the truth is, it isn't working. To be a true superstar, you need to deliver elite performances and pack arenas. Reese has done neither. Compare her to Caitlin Clark. Her games sell out, draw millions of viewers, and even turn tickets into high-demand items. Reese, meanwhile, plays in half-empty arenas, with her game against the Mystics drawing a reported 7,500 fans that felt more like a high school rally than a pro event. Still, the league keeps doubling down, ignoring the disconnect between hype and reality. But fans aren't buying it. Reese's on-court antics, inconsistency, and lack of leadership only make the WNBA's promotional push look desperate. Instead of elevating the league, she's damaging its credibility. Her situation mirrors Ja Morant's fall from grace in the NBA. Once on track to be the league's future, his repeated missteps, especially the infamous gun incidents, led to lost sponsorships and the NBA essentially erasing him from marketing campaigns. Reese is walking a similar line. She has the talent, but poor judgment, a fiery temper, and mounting controversies are threatening to define her career more than her skills. If she doesn't change soon, the consequences will extend beyond the court. Endorsement opportunities will dry up, sponsors will pull away, and her carefully crafted branding moves, like trademarking MI bounds, will mean nothing. So the question now is, will Reese learn from Morant's mistakes, or follow the same downward spiral of wasted potential? Her suspension could be the tipping point. The WNBA must decide, do they continue protecting a liability, or finally prioritize accountability over image? However they choose, one thing is certain: this decision will set the tone for the league's future.